What if Mortal Kombat wasn't just a cool idea, but a full D&D one-shot your table could play tonight? Today, we're brewing Mortal Kombat into a complete one-shot, breaking down the decisions, the design, and the drama that make it work at the table. Ever wonder how to run Mortal Kombat in your D&D one-shot or campaign? We'll show you how to do it. After all, this is how we brew it. Homebrew is where the heart is. It's where dungeon masters, murder hobos, dice goblins, and chaos gremlins come together to turn big ideas into unforgettable adventures. So how do you take that spark, a setting, a villain, a mechanic, and turn it into something that actually works at the table? It's simple. We brew it. We've got 6 flavorful categories to walk through designed to help you build campaigns that capture the feel of your favorite worlds and IPs. And we're talking today about Mortal Kombat. But first, today, Taylor, our sponsor is D&T. So, Taylor, I'm going to challenge you to do this and as an ad read for D&T as if you're a character in that universe, unless you really want me to do it. I guess I could try.
Well, here's the thing. You would have to give me a character because I don't know none of their voices.
Well, see, they only have voice lines for the most part. So here, you know what?
You know what?
Yeah?
I think I got it. I think I'm gonna do it as the actual voice line of the announcer every time it's a what's it called? Not a killing blow.
Fatality.
Fatality. I got this wrong immediately. I'm gonna do it as the guy who says fatality.
As the narrator, yes.
As not realizing that he can say more than fatality. That's here we go. This is like an acting exercise. Okay. Fatality. Oh, you want me to say something else? Other than fatality? Oh, okay, well, I guess I could read this as well. So this says, if you've ever hit that mid-session slump where your brain just logs right out as the DM asks you what to do, same. Well, I've never actually felt that way. No, okay, keep reading. That's why I've been drinking D&T. Is this real? Can I have some of this tea? Okay, thank you. This isn't just tea. It's your long rest in a cup. Is that okay? Whether you're channeling arcane focus or trying to survive, your DM's emotional damage. D&T blends are crafted to keep your mind sharp and your roleplay sharper and your blows final. Smooth, flavorful, and dangerous. If you want to try it, you can use code TSP for 15% off. Not only are you upgrading your table experience, but you're making it fatal by directly supporting the show. So yes, grab some D&T, keep your brain online, and go ahead and rip the spine out of your enemy. Oh, that doesn't say that. I'm sorry. I don't know what else to say. Fatality.
You know, I didn't know where that was going. That was pretty good.
That's kind of fun, right?
You got to the 15% off.
Exactly.
Yeah. Fatality.
So, you do it better than I did. You should have done it.
Well, it's okay. It's okay. I mean, I have a, I can do the deep voice.
You got the deep voice. That's
Fatality.
Yeah.
So we're going to go through and we're going to talk about our categories today, but thanks D&T for sponsoring our show. Let's get into the categories. B, base build. What are core components? What the must-haves? R, resonance and vibe. This is where we make our poetic heart sings. E, extra froth. What makes this wildly fun? W, weird for us. That strange little twist you never find on D&D Beyond. I, inciting quest. Every good campaign needs a reason to leave home and punch hundreds of people in the face and rip their spines out. And T, threat level. Let's talk danger. Who or what is the big bad and what's their challenge rating?
Yep.
All right, Taylor. How much Mortal Kombat have you played in your life?
I've actually played a good amount of Mortal Kombat, but I will be honest, I have always mixed it up with Street Fighter. So,
yeah.
Because I started playing both at the same time.
Yes.
And then I eventually moved into Tekken. We're not gonna have an argument about which fighters are better, but as somebody who loves Tekken, so
yeah, I like Tekken and Soul Calibur the most. But.
Yeah. So, but I did play a little bit of Mortal Kombat starting out. I will tell you, my experience with Mortal Kombat is playing pretend in kindergarten as Mortal Kombat characters.
In kindergarten?
Yeah, isn't that weird?
Who decided that was a good idea? They
my
rip people's
friends.
Spines. Oh, they like rip people's spines out.
And I went to a Christian private school, so even crazier. Yeah, I remember we went to school. We went to recess, and one of my friends said, "Let's play Mortal Kombat." I had never heard of it at that time, so I had to go do research. And my friend was like, "Yeah, Taylor, you can play the Stinky Fortune Cookie character." And I went, I have a feeling that's not real. But I said, okay. Now listen, these people aren't my friends anymore. But,
Well,
my-
the thing I'm more thinking about is like, okay, Christian school, private school, we're policing certain things, but we're letting our kids pretend to rip each other's spines out. Like,
that's what I'm saying. I don't
what
think
kind of priorities do we have
we
here?
weren't being monitored during recess. But
Well, hey, thank God that you memorized, Deuteronomy 6:12.
Exactly. However, I did memorize Mortal Kombat. Or at least some of the characters. So.
Oh man, okay. Well, I used to be very into fighting games and one-on-one. So like Mortal Kombat, I played a lot of the Injustice Gods Among Us, and I played a lot of the Mortal Kombat.
There you go.
Back in the day, I was a Sub-Zero player.
Oh wow.
Yeah, played a lot of Sub-Zero, and really loved that. And I used to play Smash. I was semi-competitive in that. And, loved Soul Calibur and Tekken. Tekken and Soul Calibur my favorite personally. Street Fighter, like the quarter circle, like full circles stuff on your control stick. I never liked those as a mechanic for how you do it.
Yeah.
But it does have a high skill cap for that though, which is cool. So anyway, the big thing about these games always is that it's really hard to play this with your friends. Like,
it's true.
Like when you play fighting games of this kind, it's like, okay, great. Like, you are so good at this game that it's no fun to play anyone who sucks at this game. But if they suck at this game, you can't take it easy on them, or it's literally like you're like, might as well watch paint dry while this person tries to hit you. And it's just, you really need a community of people to like actually play these fighting games at this level of competitiveness. And certain games like Super Smash Bros. Kind of help you even the odds a little bit with items and stuff. But still, even then, it's sort of like, I've kind of shied away from these games over time, but there's some great stuff about it. One of the things that Mortal Kombat did for the very first time is the fatality, and it was such a cool idea, this super move type thing that like really had you finish them off. It was like such a cool concept. So with that in mind, let's talk about the base build, Taylor. What is the essential component of having a Mortal Kombat one-shot?
I guess it has to be kind of, I guess it doesn't have to be martial, but like I kind of want it to be.
What do you mean it has to be martial? Like as in like there's no magic?
Yeah, like I guess you don't have to take out magic because you have a lot of the cool things that people can do that feel so magical.
Yeah, I mean like Sub-Zero, like and like just like icing people to death.
Exactly. Yeah. But I'm like it's the thing is with Sub-Zero, he could still kick your head off of your neck. Like that's you know what I mean? It's like he doesn't need ice to do that. So I feel like I'm almost like pressured to say everybody's just a different subclass of monk. Like that's, you know what I mean? Which I think makes it fun. I don't know if I've ever done an all monk one shot. That kind of sounds wild. I feel like everybody just punch each other to death.
Well, okay, let's zoom out a little bit. For sure, you need to fight a lot.
Yes.
Right? Does anyone remember the plot of Mortal Kombat?
No.
Like even like Street Fighter and like Soul Calibur. I don't know about the plot of Tekken nearly as much, but like Soul Calibur and like Street Fighter have a little bit more plot because you have M. Bison being evil, and there's a big evil company called Shadaloo. And Soul Calibur, you have the two swords of darkness and light, and one of them is good and one of them is bad, and they're clashing over and over. So therefore, we must fight. But there's not that big of a reason. It's just like some excuse for them to fight. Like even the ones that are like more tournament based, it's like, oh, this actually makes sense. There's a fighting tournament. We're gonna see who wins.
Yeah.
But anyway, so like you would need an excuse for everyone to fight a bunch, right?
Sure, of course.
And you need to keep the combats relatively epic and small, and short, because also, like, if you're going to do the fighting game thing right, it's not like it's massive battles. Like, even like Capcom tag team stuff, which also great games, involve tag teams. It's one person fighting at a time. And then they tag people out. If you're doing Mortal Kombat, they don't really do that either. So you need to be able to run a bunch of individual fights and not have it take forever. So how do we accomplish that overall?
I mean, I think so this everybody's going to be mad at me for this, and that's fine. And I'm prepared to be the guy who's on this end, who's on my soapbox about it. I think this is the only one shot where I would allow PvP. And I think PvP, I would dare to say, required. I think this should be a PvP one-shot. I think this should be a tiered, a bracketed one-shot where you are, again, it doesn't have to be a tournament, but I think if you want to make a bracket, like a basketball game, I think that is cool. Pull out the whiteboard, baby. Pull it out, write everybody's name on it, make a bracket. You are fighting for somebody's approval, whatever. Again, I don't know much about Mortal Kombat. I'm sure there's some kind of king somewhere who wants everybody to love him. So like, fight for his approval, be his grand warrior or whatever. But I think it should be PvP. And I think you should run the combat simultaneously. Everybody's combat simultaneously. I think everyone should roll for initiative. But when it's your turn, you're only fighting your person. But it's still initiative. Like, it's still like, okay, it's me and you, Kyle, and then, I don't know, our Aaron and Harley, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm fighting Aaron and you're fighting Harley, but you go first and then I go second. So it's like, you have to roll for your attacks to Harley. Cool, this is what happens to him. And Harley can react. But then second is what I'm doing with Aaron, my fight with Aaron and what I'm going to do with him. And then it goes back. So it's it almost taps in a little bit to anime, how like they'll do like, we're getting a snapshot of a fight and we only get the one move the one person does. And then we cut back to the other fight and what that other person does. And then we cut back. So it's like, that's why I'm like, I think you should be a PvP, sorry. I think you should do PvP because then you as a DM aren't slowing things down by playing all the enemies. And then you could play one or two, you can play one or two big bads who are part of the tournament. Right. That's kind of fun.
Are you suggesting then, like, as we talk about this, that when we do the fight, like, would we skip over a good amount of the fight, actually? Would we play every turn out? Would it be like, because like, if you were to do this a little differently, right? Like, you could, let's say we have 4 players at the table, and we run all 4 combats, but we like go for 1 or 2 rounds. You say, this is what I want to do. This is the plan. I'm going to roll. We see the result. When we kind of go, like, individual, we roll, see the result, and then we don't narrate what happens. We actually skip to the next person. We do it again and again and again. And then we narrate a little bit of what happened, and we get some like number fudging, and it's like, okay, like you beat them up a bunch, and then they also hit you back a couple times. So your health is at 40 and their health is at 20 and whatever, like, or are we actually playing the turns out turn by turn by turn?
I think, well, you can do it 2 ways. I think because the way D&D is created, combat is long, period. Mm-hmm. And that's one of the reason I suggest taking out like the dungeon master not being a part of the combat initially. I suggest the DM literally like get an even number of players, have them fight each other and run the combat all the way. Oh. That will probably last an hour and a half, if not an hour. Take a break in between if you need to. Doesn't really matter. But I would not be surprised if 4 people fighting each other is 2 simultaneous combats.
Yeah.
That's an hour of stuff. So that's the reason I say that, is because I think if you do it that way, you just run it straight through. You don't skip any parts. Because that is the game, Mortal Kombat. You were doing every move. You were fighting to the death, Now, if you were going to throw in some NPCs, then I would suggest skipping over some things. If anything, I would suggest just don't even skip over things. Roll, because something we didn't talk about as far as leveling. I think we throw this for a lot of like superhero-esque characters, epic level 6 or level 5. You say, hey, roll 3 D20 or 2 D20 at the beginning of the fight. If you're going to play an NPC that fights these characters, say everybody's going to roll 3 D20. Subtract that from your health. We're starting mid-combat.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So then you're playing the end of the combat. You're not playing parts, and you don't have to complicate the dice fetching. You could just literally say, roll this die. That is how much health you lose. Now let's start the fight. We're starting halfway through. Like, pick a place where you are, knock off some of your spell slots. You know what I mean? Like, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But also, if you do PvP at the beginning, and then you do an NPC fight, there's no rest. So you're already down. You've already lost spell slots. Understanding that it's a bracketed game with no rest means the fights are going to get shorter because you're getting tired and you're going to die. You know?
Yeah. Like, or at least, like, you could take short rests so you gain some back, or like you have like half healing. Like, you just don't get a ton back.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is where I would suggest, like, if you wanted to do a quick 5-minute role play scene.
Yeah.
That's like, oh, you get a short rest, but maybe if you like succeed on a persuasion check with an NPC, they give you a like magic item, so you don't like
something
die
like
immediately. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Then the plot of this is basically there's a tournament you need to fight, right? Yeah. And we're gonna see who wins the fight to achieve glory or whatever.
To be the best mortal in combat.
Yeah. It's not that interesting, right? So normally things we do talk about inciting quests, threat levels, etc. We kind of took care of all of that. Mm-hmm. So, honestly, like this is a podcast for us, our own enjoyment. I don't want to talk about any of that. It's like, there's a tournament, you fight. Yeah. Let's talk about, though, the most important thing to make this feel great would be, here's 2 questions I have for you. And then basically, actually, we're probably done. So it might be a short one. Mm-hmm. But 2 questions. 1, would we consider no AC, instead rolling strength, dexterity checks, etc. against each other to see if you hit? You know?
Fascinating. Playing rollies instead of hitting an armor class.
Right. Because that would change combat a lot, but it would be fascinating.
This is a really good question, Kyle. I think that's actually really cool, which is why I would say yes to that.
Because it's got the counterplay of how fighting games actually work. Like a huge portion of fighting games is blocking. Right. And so, and like we could even say if you rolled it to block and defend yourself this way, or you rolled to defend or to dodge, you could choose either or, right? Blocking, you get bigger bonuses to block, but you lose a little bit of health. You lose like a D4 every time you block. But if you dodge, you have to roll based on regular bonuses.
Do you lose health when you block in Mortal Kombat?
If you can't block it forever, basically.
Oh, really?
Like every fighting game out there has the differences for how they deal with blocking. Some blocks there are block breaker moves, right? 2, like some of them have fatigue meters where you just can't block infinitely. Like Dragon Ball has this, for example. Others are like you just straight up lose health as you block. It's just a little bit, stuff like that. So you can't, no matter what, there's pretty much not an infinite block mechanic.
Okay. Then I would say, knowing that, because I think that does change what I was gonna say. Knowing that, I think yes, you should do rollies. I don't think you should get bonuses for blocking. I think it should be a dexterity save. Basically, instead of armor class. And I think the DC is whatever they rolled on their attack, right?
Right.
Here's the thing. I think we should just limit the number of saves you can actually make in a fight.
Okay.
I think that's actually fascinating.
Yeah. Like if there's some sort of mechanic for like because this is how fighting games work too, right?
Yeah.
Like basically like you can technically block for like a while, but you lose it, you get it back. So like, should we have like a death saving throw, but for dexterity? So it's like, okay, the first time you do it, you can just do it. The second time you have to roll, it's 50-50. The next time it's 75% you can't block.
You could do that. I was going to say you get as many death saves as half of your dexterity score.
Oh, okay, sure.
Because we never use these numbers other than
we never use
bonuses.
the numbers except for the bonuses, yeah, which is
now we get to use the number.
Flaws, D&D. How come we have the big number and we never get to use it? We could have just
random.
We could have used some other system.
Yeah,
we could have come up with a better system, Gary Gygax, but here we are. Okay, yes.
But yeah, notoriously, I will use the scores when people roll checks on themselves. So I'll be like, oh, if you want to get analysis on like how you were affected by something, you're going to roll a wisdom score on yourself. And it's like the DC is what your wisdom score is. But I think it's fascinating to use the dexterity score that way for blocking in this kind of Mortal Kombat. And it can either be the whole number or it could be half of it. Because I think you could either do half of it and that's for each fight, or you do the whole number and that's for the entire one shot.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like if you have an 18 score, you can only roll death saves 18 times. You know how many times people are going to try and hit you in this game?
Yeah, a ton.
It's going to be more than 18.
Okay, I would add on the top of that, then half your strength score is a block breaker.
Ooh.
So even if they block, you could just you break the block. There's no...
That's cool.
If you time it right. But they might just take it and then you wasted your block break.
Yes.
So that's cool. That's very exciting.
Well, question for you then. Would block breaker be something you have to announce before or after the block?
You would have announced it before. Yeah.
That you're going to use a block breaker. Crazy.
Yeah, before you roll.
Crazy.
Okay then, Taylor. The obvious other thing we have to figure out is how do people do fatalities? Especially if they're going to be a PvP. You can't just rip the spine out of somebody who's your opponent, who's your player at the table? Question mark?
Yes, you can.
Necromancy?
This is what we're endorsing, necromancy. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. No, I think fatalities... Okay. This is where I like to get into like epic level 6 kind of territory.
Yeah.
I think, and this is also where we dip in a little like some class stuff.
Yeah.
I think for some of these classes, they could do really cool things at level 6. I think you as the DM, save one of those epic things. Don't let them have it until they like get a nat 20. And then be like, cool, you do this now. And it's like, like I almost wonder if like, and this might be a mechanical thing we mess with. Is it like the way that we declare a block breaker? Maybe we also do the same thing with like, we do a reverse thing for attacks where it's like you roll a hit and then you could choose what you're hitting with. You don't have to like, because when you play Mortal Kombat, you are kind of making decisions in real time of what you're going to hit with. You're not going, okay, I've sat here and planned for 3 minutes and now I'm going to do that. No, it's very in the moment. So I wonder if it's like, once you hit, then you should decide what you're actually going to do. And maybe you can only do certain things depending on like what you roll for your strength to hit. Like if you get a 15 or higher, then you can use like all of your weapons or all of your attacks, right? But if you get 11 or higher, you can only use the bottom 2. If you get a 5 or higher, you can only use 1, which is unarmed strike. Sorry. Like, that's kind of fascinating as far as just a mechanic, but that means you could roll a natural 20 and you get your ultimate. Like, you get your fatality. Yeah. You get the thing that you can do, Yeah,
so, I mean, crit 20 makes sense for that you are now eligible to fatality.
Yeah.
Right? The thing that is also fun about the fatality is that it is ridiculous. It is over the top. Right. There's ones where you kick them into space and then you punt them back into the earth and they become a comet and they blow up. Stuff like that. Like, that's like how the fatalities work. They're insane. They're supposed to be that way, right? Again, like ripping the spine out, all these things that are over the top and grotesque and ridiculous and over the thing. I think, right? For example, like with the monk, right? If the player is a monk, they should be able to do the level 17 ability Quivering Palm and just go kaboom. Because that'll eventually do 10d12 force damage on a failed save. Right?
Then yeah, I think we just give everyone a thing that they
find the class, find the ultimate version move of that class, and then let them get it for that time. Because also fatalities only show up after you've already won. It's just like the cool way to kill, right?
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. So like if you crit during the fight, I think then you're like, cool. If I win this fight, fatality. Yeah. Right? That's cool. Let them do the Quivering Palm. Let them, as a fighter, I guess you just get to attack like 17 times. Because, fighters have nothing cool for them. They just swing.
That's funny.
But
I'm sure they have something. It's probably a subclass feature.
Yeah, like pick a cool subclass feature for them and let them do their thing. Also, this is actually another thing. Don't let any of the players be the same class. Like,
oh no, not at
they
all.
have to be different, right?
Yeah,
Like, absolutely.
all different.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's really cool, Taylor. They crit, they get to do that, and they get to access something they could only access at level 17 or 20, and they had some cool stuff.
Yeah.
All right, Taylor. Anything else that we want to talk about here?
Yes, I think everybody has to come up with a really gory description for their fatality. And if they don't, then it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Personally. Oh, I will also say, alternatively, if you don't want to do the crit 20 thing for the fatality and keep it a little more in line with Mortal Kombat, maybe you can also, as a DM, hand them that high level fatality move when the person they're fighting is like at 10 health left, because that is technically more Mortal Kombat territory.
Technically, yeah.
But up to you.
Yeah. All right, let's recap Mortal Kombat. So we're gonna break some rules and do this as PvP to start, save time, roll initiative, run the combat all the way for the PvP fights. Roll the combat simultaneously and switch between the fights every turn. Make all the characters epic level 6, so your characters get to do cool stuff, but don't let them be the same class. They're all unique. Start mid-combat for NPCs they fight to see how the fight went up until that point. No rest. Fights don't last as long. Roll to see how much damage they took. Kill some spell slots, stuff like that. Roll dexterity checks to defend yourself against the number rolled against you with dex saves. Dex saves, you can technically hit on low numbers this way. If the person rolls a 2 on their dex save and you hit a 3, you technically hit them. Half your dex score to the number of times you can block. Half your strength score is a block breaker, which you must announce before you roll to break the block. To get the fatality, that ever so special thing, the fatality, you must crit 20. If you win, you get the fatality, or if you, alternatively, you can just do like 10 health and like let them fatality. Let the players access the high level ability. A monk might get a quivering palm, even though they're level 6, and that's a level 17 ability for their fatalities. Look for the subclasses to find the cool moves they get, and let them do the fatalities. And that's pretty much it for the Mortal Kombat one-shot. Should be pretty cool. The movie will probably not be very good, but who knows? Maybe it'll be fun. Cody Rhodes is Guile, and you've got the Guile hairstyle right now, so we've got some good omen. Anyway, if you like this video, you can like and subscribe for more content like this, and you can see you in the next video.
This is how we brew it.
Jurassic Park, How to Train Your Dragon, The Princess Bride, Inception, Matrix, Mad Max, Fury Road, John Wick, Ghostbusters, Pokemon, Hunger Games, 28 days later.
Hey there, just want to shout out to our patrons. Thanks so much for subscribing on Patreon and supporting the show. Thanks to Count Bubba, Fizz, Fedorba Will, Richard, Varner Jr., and Who's Scruffy Looking.